Hello again, everybody. Major League Baseball 2K Sports. Gary Thorne with Steve Phillips and John Kruk as the season gets underway. Miguel Cabrera, an effective man at the plate. He can score, he can drive them in. A crowd that always supports their Tigers. We're in Detroit. We're going to see Doug Fister pitch. And Steve, as he gets into this Boston lineup, what are we going to see?
Now this right-hander has quality stuff, and it doesn't really matter oftentimes who he's facing. If he executes his pitches and pitches his game, he's got a chance to come out on top.
We've got a moment to check out that lineup for the Red Sox. So who are you looking at, John?
Well, Kevin Youkilis is never an easy out. He's going to make pitchers work. They're going to have to throw a lot of pitches, and he's now added power to his arsenal. We always knew he had the ability to hit for high average. Now the homers are coming, a double threat.
And it's Jacoby Ellsbury leading off the game. Last outing for the Red Sox was a W. So after taking game 1 of 3, they'll try and play for the win here against the Tigers.
Well, anytime you come into a season, you want to get that first win out of the way early, and they did it. This team did it on opening day.
Swing and a miss on that curveball. It's 0-1. Like any other sport, you get long seasons, none longer than baseball. So you get that first one, just make yourself feel good on opening day.
Well, it absolutely does, and that's the thing you worry about is when you're going to get your first win. Take care of that opening day, and it could set up a great season as we go along.
And it's 0-2. Ellsbury cut it down, protect.
Now, if you saw his last game, you got a chance to see that he swung the bat well in that one, picking up a couple of knocks.
Pitch on the way. You're out. And a swing and a miss. Strike 3 on Ellsbury.
But when you're getting guys out with 3 pitches, you know you're dominating.
That's a time when you know you are definitely in the zone, and he was on that at bat. Now we'll take a quick look at the Tigers and how they're out there positionally on defense. Particular standouts here, John?
Austin Jackson's a highlight reel waiting to happen. An unbelievable athlete who's not afraid to run into a wall, dive for balls to make great catches. When you're an outfielder and you're not afraid to make mistakes, more often than not, you're going to help your team by being aggressive.
And the called strike taken by Pedroia.
After an injury-riddled 2010, it was nice to see Dustin Pedroia get back to what he does best, scrapping every time he moves on a baseball diamond and helping his team win.
Line drive fouled off towards first. And John, I think for Pedroia, no matter how good he is or how good the numbers are, there's always that thing inside him of all those who said he'd never make it that he has to continue to prove he should be here.
Well, that's the resume that speaks volumes for him. As much as scouts like the big, tall, muscular, athletically gifted players, Dustin Pedroia is a guy that all he does is win ball games for your team.
Now a look at the teams who generated the most runs last year, courtesy of State Farm. Number 1, the Red Sox. The Yankees second. In third, the Rangers. Tigers fourth. And for the Blue Jays, they are in 5th.
Well, they might have to replace home plate after this game because these were 2 of the top teams in the league last year in runs scored. They love to cross home plate. They get guys on. They score them. And that's what makes these teams so tough to pitch against.
Ball 1 started off the at-bat. It's 1-0. Batting average for him, take a look last year, 188 against the Tigers here at Comerica Park.
And the hit.
Smash towards the middle. Base hit, gets it down. That's our first hit of the game for these guys.
Oh, I love being able to get hits with 2 outs. Even if there's no one on base, you don't drive in any runs. What it does is, though, it prolongs the inning and it makes the opposing pitcher work harder and can possibly get him out of the game earlier.
David Ortiz, Big Papi up.
Going to have to look for a little bit more patience at the plate in this game because last game out struck out 3 times chasing pitches out of the zone.
Big swing and a miss. Strike 1. And Ortiz misses. Strike 3. Doug Fister, you shut him down. He's taking care of business all by himself as he strikes out the side. And we've got John Lester out on the mound. He'll get the start for Boston. Steve, what do you think? What's he thinking about looking at this Detroit hitter lineup?
Well, I think for John Lester, he's going to try to work ahead and then go to that slider to get the put-away pitch. He has the ability to get himself out of jams with big swings and misses.
Called strike on a fastball, and it's 0-2.
Let's see what he's going to do 0-2. The hitter's got to be guessing right now.
Tried to get him to go after that cutter, but it's 1-2. He'll leave that one alone. Austin Jackson, patience and an even count.
Now, if you got a chance to see the last game, you saw he seemed a little bit flustered at the plate, expanding the strike zone, striking out twice in that game.
Popped him up. Scooter Rowe to play it. One away. Jimmy Leyland's put this lineup together for this ball game. Scouting pick, John. Who are we looking at today?
Well, the hardest thing in baseball to do is to find a switch hitter, a catcher who can hit, and a guy who can hit in the middle of the lineup. Victor Martinez can solve all your problems. A great switch hitter, a catcher, and he hits in the middle of the lineup, and he is clutch. This guy is a winner.
Martinez up now.
Well, success for the Tigers in 2011, a big part of that coming at home. 50-31 there, the best record in the American League Central.
That's a foul ball. Tigers really made their mark at home over the last month of the season. They had a small lead. They stretched it over the Indians into a big one.
Well, late August, right? They win 16 of 20 games at home and take a 1.5 game lead, stretch it back out again, and never look back.
Well, a textbook way of pitching. 3 pitches, 3 strikes.
Outstanding command during that at bat. And it's Miguel Cabrera now. .236 career average against the Red Sox. Cabrera again fouling it off. At the belt, Lester kicks, throws towards center field. And there's Ellsbury for the 3rd out. Nobody left on base. No runs. And if you just joined our broadcast, great to have you on board. 2K Sports Major League Baseball. I'm Gary Thorne with Steve Phillips and John Kruk. And it's Kyle Crawford at the plate. He'll start us out here in the 2nd. First pitch, a fastball. That's in there for a strike.
Well, when you throw the fastball, that's where you want it to go. Now you can elevate a pitch next time around.
Crawford will foul that one away. Here's a swing and a fly ball. And that's going to be a base hit for Crawford. And that will bring up Jared Saltalamacchia.
A chance here to check out the Boston Red Sox and how they ranked in the American League last year. First in doubles, first in hits, and they also scored the most runs in the league, the most potent offense around. It's all about scoring runs, however you're going to do it, and they figured out how to get it done.
1 down.
That's about as easy as it gets. He could have caught that one in his back pocket.
Now Kevin Youkilis batting with a runner on first.
Well, once again, Kevin Youkilis missing time.
He's running toward second. He is safe at second base.
Well, Gary did not have a real big lead off of first base, but he did get a good jump and able to get in there safely.
Pauses, and now the 1-0. 1-0 pitch, a slider in there. 1-1. In talking about Youkilis battling a sports hernia, it had the impact in the previous year, and you got to believe maybe it's a factor in the future, John.
Well, and hopefully he gets
that swung on, hit on the ground. And he steps on first. That's the 2nd out. Now our State Farm leaderboard looking at the teams leading the league in slugging percentage from last year. The Red Sox #1. 2nd, the Rangers. 3rd, the Yankees. The Tigers 4th. Number 5, the Royals rounded out.
Well, not a lot of singles in this one, I don't think, today, Gary. I mean, these two teams love to slug it out. They love to hit doubles, triples, and especially the home run ball. So if you're a pitcher, you better be very careful, because when you make a mistake, these two teams will make you pay.
And that one eats him up. But he recovers in time, makes the play. Good work. He just looks unhittable the way he's... And it is not a warm day by any means. Scarves, winter jackets out. And it's Johnny Peralta in the box now. And Lester misses.
Well, anytime you have a good fastball and you can keep it down in the zone around the knees or lower, it's great location and, believe me, very difficult to hit.
The 1-1 pitch. Here's a swing and a liner towards the gap in left field. This one beyond him. It's going to be extra bases. And he ends up at second. That's a double.
Well, great hitters get hits at just the right time. And this double right here with no one down is a nice leadoff hit to get the offense rolling early here in this inning.
It's going to be Santiago now. Gets away from him. Now Lester with a 1-0 delivery. That's low and inside for a ball. 2-0. Here's the pitch. Good action to that cutter. Called strike. 2-1.
Well, if he can throw this cutter down and away like this, he's going to be very effective. That's an outstanding pitch.
Cut fastball that time. Didn't bite, though, and it's now 3-1.
This cut fastball is a very effective pitch for this guy because it allows him to set up all of his other pitches.
And an off-speed pitch is in there. 3-2 now.
Well, it looked like the hitter just gave up on this out of the pitcher's hand, but it's a curveball that comes right down the middle of the plate.
Oh, and he bobbles this thing, but he stays with it. Gets the out. That's how you do it. RBI opportunity right here for Brendan Bosch.
Well, and another good year for John Lester, who continues to prove that he can be an anchor for a team's starting rotation. Very good numbers once again from the big lefty.
The pitch. Line drive. That's foul towards first. Lester last year, throughout most of the season, was probably the best pitcher the Red Sox had on their staff. That surprised a lot of people.
You know, you think back several years when he's battling back from lymphoma, the courage that he showed, what an inspiration he is, and now to make himself the strong, powerful, one of the best pitchers in the American League.
And it gets down. Peralta a chance to score here. And Peralta comes in to score. Pitcher's count, hitter's pitch.
That's an 0-2 count, a little too aggressive on the pitcher's part coming into the strike zone. Good piece of hitting.
It's Dirks at the plate. Well, they've done themselves quite a job here. This is a nice push at this point of the ball game to get out in front. Lays off that one outside edge, and it's a strike. Well, what types of pitches have been put in play here today? Here's a quick breakdown. Swing and a high drive, hooking into the corner. And goodbye home run. The Detroit Tigers put up some more. A little distance now, increasing their lead 1-3.
Detroit just looking to tack on more runs. They better shut it down before it gets away from them.
Holds back, and it's a called strike on the inside part of the plate. 0-1. And the home run there, Steve, the pitching's going to have to be very careful now.
Well, that's right. Damage control is critical. You don't want this inning to get out of control.
Fouled away. He deals. And another foul ball.
Well, when a pitcher throws a pitch like that, you expect to get the strikeout. Great piece of hitting defensively to keep this at bat alive.
Swung on, missed, curveball, struck him out, 2 down.
The pitch is too close to take, but you've got to try to make contact with it. Swings right through it, strike 3.
And it's Smith batting. A 3-for-7 career batter off the Red Sox. He waited on that first pitch and took it. It's 1-0.
That's a good pitch with a cut fastball. When you're throwing this pitch, you want to start it on the corner, run it off the plate, trying to get the hitter to chase. Good piece of hitting to lay off of it.
This one's grounded foul wide of first. Here's a swing and a fly ball to right center. And another hit. They're really gunning right now. And that's going to bring Austin Jackson to the plate.
He takes this 1-2 pitch down in the zone. He's able to go down and get it. Get a good part of the bat on the ball and pick up the base hit.
That's a tough pitch to hit. When you're behind in the count, you just want contact, and he got it. Popped up his last at bat. First pitch on the way. And a ground ball to Euclid. And he's up with it. Throws on to first. Side is retired. Nice jolt of offense. Second inning, putting up some runs. The Tigers on top, 3-0. End of the order is going to try and kick it off offensively. And welcome to those of you just tuning in. 2K Sports, Major League Baseball. This is Gary Thorne along with Steve Phillips and John Crook. It's going to be Sweeney. Just missed with the fastball. 1-0. The 1-0 pitch. Hit in the air to center field. That's one down. Detroit's still early in the season. A look at their schedule. They'll finish up this Boston series tomorrow. They'll stay right there for the next set of games. The Tampa Bay Rays. That's a 3-game series. And then they'll go up against the White Sox in Chicago. A team that will definitely give them. There's a swing and a liner. And that'll put Ellsbury on first. That'll bring up Dustin Pedroia.
Well, you want leaders, both statistically and in the clubhouse. And this guy is that guy. He can get it done. He got it done all season last year. And obviously someone they're counting on this year.
Last season, top 10 most hits. Strike started off the at-bat 0-1. And Dustin Pedroia watches that one go by. The count is even. One chance so far. He's got an 0 for 1. Trying to get the hit here off Fister.
And look, the way he struggled to catch up to the four-seamer the last time, you have to think you got to go back there again until he proves he can catch up to it.
Strike 3, Dustin Pedroia. He goes right through that one. He's going to go back to the bench.
Now, good break on a 90-mile-an-hour pitch.
And he just missed it on this one, taking his hacks on it, but he couldn't place it.
Yeah, hard to believe. Most big league hitters would put that one in the cheap seats. Must have taken his eye off it for a split second.
Here's Adrian Gonzalez batting with 2 down. Number 1 in hits last year. Here we go. Here's the first pitch. There's a swing, and that one's hit on the ground. He'll throw on to first, and that'll do it for this half inning. And so out of the inning, only 8 pitches thrown. That's pretty efficient. The shutout continuing. Leadoff hitter Victor Martinez. Last year, one of the best averages in the American League. Starts him out with a cut fastball for a strike.
Some kind of player, no doubt about it. They're glad to have him in the lineup because he can get it done, and he got it done all season long last year, Gary.
Scudero makes the play. 1 away.
Let's take a look to last season. Check out the American League rankings and where the Detroit Tigers fell. Second batting average with runners in scoring position. Third in batting average. And they showed up in the top 5 in doubles last year, a lineup that drove the ball to the gap, and when they hit it down the line, they were thinking 2 out of the box. Good aggressive base runner.
And Crawford picks it up.
Well, they followed the advanced scouting reports to a T. They played the outfielders back that time, and he hit it right into the teeth of the defense.
Here's Johnny Peralta now with 2 down. He doubled and scored in his last trip to the plate. And the first pitch was a strike. Got about 0-1 right now.
Solid effort from Lester in this one. Boy, he's got good stuff.
What's he doing to start these hitters out? Let's take a look at how he's beginning.
Well, we tell pitchers all the time, work ahead in the count. It changes the at-bat, and proof here. 0-1 count, and he's gotten 5 guys out today.
Peralta fouls off another.
Well, that's a pitcher's strikeout pitch right there. You get ahead in the count 1 and 2. You throw that pitch up in the zone. You're hoping he swings through it or he pops it up. He got just enough of the bat on it to put it foul. And now we're going to see how this battle continues.
At the belt, Lester kicks, throws over near third. Throws on to first in time to retire the side. And they're held in check here in this half inning. Tigers 3, Boston nothing. David Ortiz leads it off. Well, it's keeping up with the hit trends in this one. Let's take a look at the pitches that he's thrown on the mound that have been put in play.
Well, that two-seamer has been hit 2 times.
You know, it's been touched a pair of times, but the way he's pitching, he looks to go deep in this game here, and no runs given up. Everything looks like it's working for him.
And Martinez sets up his target. Strike 2. Ortiz will have to be careful now.
Oh, Gary, into the 4th inning right here now. They've gotten 3 hits in this one, so they've had a few base runners, but they haven't been able to lump them together to be able to generate any runs so far.
Ortiz makes contact. That'll be fouled off. And Ortiz misses. Strike 3. Well, whatever the setup was that he wanted, he got it, and he was off balance at the plate.
Well, a great sequence of pitches right there to keep the batter off balance, and a great approach by the pitcher.
And so with 1 down, we'll see Carl Crawford.
Well, it wasn't exactly the smooth transition to the Red Sox that Carl Crawford was hoping for. Got off to a terrible start and never really figured it out as the season went on.
Off-speed pitch is in there for a called strike. And certainly for Crawford playing in Boston, there's not a lot of leeway, especially with the expectations what they were. He went so far as to apologize for his play in the course of the year because he wasn't what everyone thought he would be, John.
Yeah, I really think he's going to bounce back in 2012. He's too gifted an athlete not to come back and put up big numbers for the Red Sox. I mean, he put up the numbers to get the contract. I think he's eventually going to earn it for Boston.
There's a swing and a ground ball. 2 away. And tomorrow afternoon, mark this one down, it's going to be Jose Reyes and the Miami Marlins. They head into Great American Ballpark to take on the Reds. That will kick off at 1 p.m. Eastern. In the batter's box, Saltalamacchia.
Fister's a good pitcher, but he's given a great performance in this one.
How's he getting these first pitches across? Well, let's take a look.
You throw strike 1, you get out. You tell pitchers that, but now they get a chance to see it. He's retired 9 batters after going 0-1 in the count on him.
Here's the pitch. Lays off the curveball. Good pitch, though. 1-1.
The best curveballs are the ones that start in the strike zone, then fall out of the strike zone. He couldn't get him to fish for that one, though.
Here's the delivery. Good spot for the changeup that time. 1-2.
Well, that's an awfully big hack for such a slow off-speed pitch. Came up empty.
And he looks at a fastball that's in there. Side retired. And nothing across here in this half of the inning. Red Sox can't get the offense going. It's going to be Santiago now. And starts him out here. And Lester's wide that time for a ball. And this is bounced foul to the left side. This one's pretty well hit to deep left center. And Ellsbury brings that one in. This is what the schedule looks like for Boston. The series with Detroit concluding tomorrow. A division rivalry. They'll face the Blue Jays. Great series there. It'll be a 3-game series. Following that, they'll have to deal with Evan Longoria. The Rays come into town. Boy, there's some great competition in that set of games. And we've got Bosch batting.
Well, looking for a bounce-back performance today. Some disappointment after last game, striking out twice.
And Lester's pitch. That one swung on its line. And he gets it down. He's 2 for 2 now.
Well, little action going right now for this team. A single here with 1 out. Little bit of momentum. Let's see if they can bring him across.
It's Dirks at the plate. And of course, as a pitcher, you got to keep your eye on which pitches are effective on any given day and which ones aren't. Here's a look at which pitches he's thrown that have generated hits.
Guys, the cutter's the pitch I'm watching here. It's been hit 2 times so far in this one.
Well, listen, that pitch has been hit a couple of times, but he has some other issues to worry about as well. I don't think he wanted to give up this many runs, clearly, at this point in the game.
2 away. And he'll have to hold at first. Now the State Farm leaderboard. Look at those teams who had the highest average last year. The Rangers, number 1. The Red Sox in 2nd. In 3rd, the Tigers. 4th, the Royals. And it's the Yankees, number 5.
Well, I wouldn't want to be a pitcher in this game, Gary. I mean, if you're looking to get through a bunch of quick innings, it might not happen in this one.
Smashes that one towards the shortstop. Low throw, safe at 2nd. Bad throw. And it's Smith batting. He singled his last trip. Two down. Runners at 1st and 2nd. At the belt, Lester kicks, throws to right center. And Smith's got himself a single. And Bosch on his way home. And Bosch comes in to score.
Put a nice swing on that one. He was sitting on fastball, got fastball, rips it to right field. Nice job.
RBI chance for Austin Jackson. And the offense here is putting on the show. Right now they're in charge of this ball game.
That last hit puts a little bit more daylight in this lead right now, Gary. They keep tacking on early.
First pitch on the way. Swings, hits this one. It'll be fielded by Ellsbury. And that's out number 3. So they pick up a run on 2 hits and they leave a couple. Tigers with some cushion, up 4. And if you're just joining in, Gary Thorne with Steve Phillips and John Kruk bringing you Major League Baseball here on 2K Sports. And here's Kevin Youkilis. The pitch. First pitch, fastball, 0-1. We have seen a great pitching performance on the mound and a tremendous use of that strike zone that's been on display here.
Well, how can you complain about what this guy has done today? I mean, most of the game he's been locked in.
You know, in respect to how he's been mixing up his location, he's doing it enough to keep the hitters off balance and keep them guessing, wondering what's coming next.
Sharp bite to that slider, 1-2.
Now, he just not picking up the ball very well out of the pitcher's hand last time out. Struck out every at bat.
And Youkilis strikes out, could not make contact.
That's how you use your fastball, using it very effectively. 2 consecutive punch-outs.
And we're going to see Scudero here. You know, to be effective, you've got to mix your pitch types and speed. Here's what we've seen from this pitcher today. What's your take, guys?
Well, the thing that stands out to me is the fact that he's thrown strikes and he's commanded the strike zone, and he's not been predictable. If a pitcher becomes predictable, he becomes easy to hit.
And he needs to stay focused right here, not get off track. He knows what his plan is. Change speeds, change locations, change pitches, move the ball around.
And it's 0-2. Marcos Scutaro. He's got to protect the plate on this next pitch. Struck him out. That's number 8 in the game.
Getting up in the range now right here with decent velocity on that breaking ball and pretty good movement. Well, 2 strikes, you have to try to fight off this pitch. You have to think away and adjust in. They went away, but he couldn't make contact.
It's going to be Sweeney. Just a 1 for 5 last year off the Tigers on the road. Plays off that one outside. 1-0.
A great movement on that 2-seam fastball, trying to start it on the corner. From running it off the plate, the hitter just laid off.
Here's the 1-0. Ryan Sweeney swings and misses. Even count.
Well, he just swung late on that one. That's what you call getting gassed up.
Here's the pitch. Good time to call for that changeup. 1-2. Now, when you put a game together like we've seen here from this pitcher, it only comes with throwing a lot of quality strikes. Here's how he's getting it done.
When you're pitching as well as he has, you got the confidence factor on your side. We've seen him stay out of the middle of the plate, and that's important.
Well, their plan coming into this game to attack this lineup is really paying off right now. They can't seem to do anything with him.
Inge to play it, and he throws it away. So they can't make the play. And he throws it over his head. And it's Jacoby Ellsbury now. For him, top 5 in the league in runs scored a year ago. And the first pitch. Watches that fastball. That goes by him for a strike. And it's 0-2. Ellsbury cut it down, protect.
This pitcher being very aggressive throwing strikes. I think he's going to try to get him to chase.
Here's the pitch. Foul. It's hit foul by Ellsbury. Swing and a hot shot. My, off the pitcher. Throws to first, side is retired. So they can't push any across here in this half of the inning. Detroit still ahead. Leadoff hitter Victor Martinez. And Saltalamacchia setting his target. Swings at that fastball and misses. 0-1. And here's a quick summary of how this guy's mixing up his pitches. How's he doing?
Well, look at his...
Here's a swing and a liner to left center. And that'll put Martinez on at first now. That will bring Miguel Cabrera up.
Let's take a peek back to last season and how Victor Martinez played and how he ranked. First in batting average with runners in scoring position. 4th in batting average. And, of course, he was in the top 10 in on-base percentage. Working the count. That's a big part of his game. Get a good hitter's count. If they don't want to give you a strike, take the walk.
Last time up, flew out. Oh, he lost control of that one, and that gets him.
I think it's safe to say, Gary, that's going to leave a mark. That hurts from up here.
That will bring up Johnny Peralta.
And with that hit by pitch we saw there, Gary, now...
Here's one hit very well deep. One away now. And they'll try and hold the runners second and first. They stay. It's going to be Santiago now. Cabrera at first. Martinez at second base. Swing liner back up the middle. Makes its way through for a single. Here's a prime production opportunity for the Tigers.
Continuing this onslaught offensively, that base hit now loads the bases. All kinds of pressure on the hitter. Let's see what he does.
And we've got Bosch batting. Swing, hot shot. He picks it up. Oh, 2 down here in the inning. And they bring him home.
Now, Gary, I'm not sure I agree with the decision right there to throw to first. They get the out, but the run scores. They might have thought about going home.
It's Dirks at the plate. Just one player picking up after another, Steve. This is a good offensive show going on, and they're climbing the ladder with it.
Gary, they keep lumping the hits together. They keep pulling away right now. This thing could be soon out of reach.
And then maybe, Steve, this one already is out of reach. They got to find some fortitude to get back into this thing. And Cabrera will score. And the second run scores. Little warm-up action going in the bullpen. That's a right-hander up and throwing.
Well, they're going to wait for the right-handed hitter on deck to get announced, and then they'll probably make the move to the pen.
Base hit knock. And a big one. Brings in a couple of runs. And Brandon Inge at the plate. Now, definitely not an overstatement to say this offense may not be stoppable today.
Well, you know, that last hit, Gary, I mean, things are beyond lopsided right now. We're looking at a blowout.
And one of the problems here is that the pitching hasn't done the job, so they've got no reason to believe there aren't going to be more runs scored against them. At the belt, Lester kicks, throws. Ground ball towards the second baseman. And he's in trouble. He's tagged out between first and second. They're losing in this ball game, and maybe a little concerned about what's going on the mound. And Dustin Pedroia to lead it off. And he starts him out. That's too high for a ball. 1-0.
Well, offensively, they just have not been able to get anything going. Only one runner left on base, so they just need more opportunities and see if they can't capitalize on it.
That catches the inside part of the plate. 1-1. He struck out swinging in that last at bat against Pfister.
Well, I think he's going to have to go back to that two-seamer right here. He had a hard time catching up to it in his last at bat.
Well, 3 others have gone down on strikes when he's gone to that pitch, so it's been very effective against this lineup.
Here's the pitch. And Dustin Pedroia watches that one go by. The count is even.
When you throw a breaking ball like this, you want to start it on the corner and break it off the zone, trying to get the hitter to chase. The hitter didn't take the bait here.
Ground ball. Inge to play it. One away. State Farm leaderboard. We recap the league leaders in extra base hits last year. Jacoby Ellsbury, number 1. Robinson Cano is second. Miguel Cabrera third. Fourth spot held by Curtis Granderson. And sitting number 5, Adrian Gonzalez. Swings on that first pitch. Misses the fastball. 0-1.
You know, you always wonder what Adrian Gonzalez could do if he played in a hitter's ballpark. Got out of that big ballpark in San Diego. He did put up some big numbers in 2011.
Strike 2. Gonzalez. He's got to be careful here. For Gonzalez, he certainly answered the age-old question, what happens when you change leagues as a hitter. Didn't have any trouble.
No, and he's still learning this league, and that's the biggest thing. He's a student of the game, so he really studies a lot of tape. He studies his own swing, but he also studies all the pitchers in the league. He's going to get a little more comfortable with them. Those numbers are just going to go up.
Rung him up. Strike 3. Count that one as a K. It's David Ortiz in the box now. Last season 0 for 3 off Pfister. And the first pitch. Fastball is high. 1-0. Here's the delivery. Low for a ball. 2-0. Swings and misses at that fastball. Now it's 2-1. The 2-1. And Ortiz with a swing and a miss for a strike. Count is even up. Rings him up. Steve, we got 3 innings left to go in this ball game. He's got the shutout going. We'll see whether or not he's got enough to go through.
Well, it's a fantastic effort so far. Now it comes down to heart. Does he have the heart to finish it off?
And it's Smith batting. Last time he drove in one, he had a run with a hit off Lester.
Well, some days just come in and you see.
Ground ball, Smith. And he boots it. And we'll have no play on that one. That'll go as an error. And he's on. It's a costly error to allow him to reach base. It's going to be Jackson now. And here's the first one. Hit on the ground over to shortstop. And he gathers this one. That's one out. Back to first. Not in time. Wanted to, won't get it.
Well, they get the lead runner at second, but they just couldn't turn two. I know they wanted to.
And it's Victor Martinez in the box now.
A great debut for Detroit last year as Victor Martinez returned back to the American League Central. He still showed that he is one of the elite hitting catchers in the majors.
Now it's 2 away. Now State Farm gives us a look at the hit leaders from last year. 2 outs and in the box, Miguel Cabrera had the best average in the league last year. At the belt, Lester kicks, throws, hit hard on the ground to short, and he cannot come up with it. Here's Johnny Peralta now with the RBI opportunity. Trying again here, just 1 for 3 thus far. First pitch to him, hit up the middle, and it gets through. A 2 for 4 ball game. And Jackson crosses the plate.
Well, that's 10 hits right now in this ball game for him, and you know you're going to have to wonder how much longer the manager's going to stick with this guy.
It's going to be Santiago now. Peralta's on at first base. Cabrera's holding on at second. Good pitch from Lester, swung on and missed. Swing and a miss.
Great stuff from the pitcher. Now he's ahead 0-2. He can go in so many different directions.
And it's fouled off. A shot up the middle. And in there, second hit for him in the ball game in his 4th plate appearance. And Cabrera will score. Boy, I don't know on that count, Steve. Number one, the fact that he swung's kind of a surprise. I don't know. He hit that where it was.
You're right. On an 0-2 count, you have to protect the plate. Sometimes it's a defensive swing, but sometimes it works out. Well, this wasn't the type of start the pitcher wanted, or the manager wanted, or his team wanted. Now they've got to see if the bullpen can do a little bit better.
And he gets this one by him, 0-1.
Well, almost an impossible pitch to hit right there. That slider down and away. Only thing you can do is hope to put the bat on the ball and hit it foul so you can live to see another pitch.
That swung on a liner here. And in there for a base hit. He's 3 for 4 today. And Peralta comes in to score.
Well, he's having a heck of a day so far. Just 3rd hit of the game in this one. They just can't seem to find an answer for him.
It's Dirks at the plate. Now this offense is having one of those days. Wow, are they putting some numbers up. It's fouled off. Here it comes. And that's another foul ball. Ring him up, strike 3. But boy, what a solid offensive inning that was. So and for those of you catching up with us, hi, I'm Gary Thorne along with John Kruk and Steve Phillips, bringing you Major League Baseball here on 2K Sports. And Carl Crawford to bat. He'll lead off the 7th. Watches the off-speed pitch, ends up 0-1.
But Gary, it's tough to score when you only get 3 hits. We're deep into this ball game, and they have just not been able to mount any pressure against him today.
That's a strike, and it's 0-2. Contact time for Carl Crawford. And Martinez setting his target. Strikes him out. We have said it more than once today, but he continues to look extremely sharp, Steve.
He's so locked in. You wonder how long he can keep it going. I haven't seen anybody pitch like this in a long time.
In the batter's box, Saltalamacchia.
Well, Jared Saltalamacchia spent some time in both the Rangers system and the Braves system. Was part of that Mark Teixeira trade that brought him from Atlanta to Texas. But it wasn't until last year when he was given a chance to catch every day.
It's now 0-1. Watch that fastball go by. And getting back to Saltalamacchia, he showed he's got some power in that bat. He had 16 home runs in just over 100 games played. You like that from a catcher?
Well, some pop in his bat, a switch hitter, and a guy they're just going to have to be patient with. I think he's going to be a late bloomer.
This is swung on, lifted to deep right field. This one towards Smith as he drops back for it and puts it away.
He's been having this lineup guess the entire game right now. He's out thinking them and out pitching them. He's continuing to be sharp the entire game.
And Kevin Youkilis to bat. Struck out swinging his last time up. Swung on and missed 0-1. Strike two, no balls, 2 strikes. Youkilis, a dangerous 0-2 hitter, though.
There's 2 quick strikes. Now he's ahead 0-2. Let's see if he goes out of the zone to see if he can get the hitter to chase.
And he lays off that one outside, 1-2. He delivers. Strike 3. Man, oh man, is he on a roll on the mound, Steve.
You can tell by his eyes he's completely locked in right now in absolute control.
So they can't. And Brandon Inge at the plate. Here's the first pitch. Swings and misses the slider. 0-1.
Well, right there, you can just tell that the hitter was absolutely fooled on that pitch. Nothing you can do. You try to reach out and just put it in play, but he swung through it.
And a ground ball to Youkilis. He snares it. One away. And it's Smith batting. Drove in a run earlier in the game. And here's the first one. Starts him off with one at the knees for a strike. The pitch. He fouls that one off. Good slider that time. Ruled the ball. 1-2. The 1-2 on its way. Fastball got him 2 down.
Let's take another look at that pitch. It's a 2-seam fastball in K-King.
A good job of keeping him guessing by changing speeds out there.
And boy, John, you saw the effect of that swing. He wasn't even in the same time zone.
But going from off speed to a heater like that is never easy, and even guys that make the big bucks have a hard time adjusting.
It's going to be Jackson now. 5 hits, 21 ABs last year off the Red Sox. Taps this one foul off to the left. There's a ground ball. Picked up by Youkilis. Oh, and a wild throw. So they can't make the play. And he's on. A costly error to allow him to reach base. League leaders in on-base percentage last year, courtesy of State Farm. Number 1, Miguel Cabrera. Jose Bautista is second. Adrian Gonzalez third. 4th spot's held by David Ortiz. And it's Alex Avila, number 5. Hit that one right back up the middle. Pedroia throws to first in time. That's 3 down. So they can't push it. Marco Scudero to lead us off. Nothing has fallen for him so far. 0 for 2 in this one against Pfister.
Well, that curve did him in the last time. You got to believe he's going to look to swing early in the count because he didn't look like he could handle that pitch at all.
Swung on and missed. Strike 1.
Tough to score with only 3 hits in a ball game, and we're deep into this one right now. So unless something dramatically changes, he's just going to shut them down the rest of the way. He's been overpowering.
Line drive left to the bag and foul. The pitch. Slider misses, and it's 1 and 2 down.
When you throw a breaking ball like this, you want to start it on the corner and break it off the zone, trying to get the hitter to chase. The hitter didn't take the bait here.
Good eye by Marco Scudero. He lays off that one. Count evened up. The 2-2. Swung on, hit. And that's going to be a base hit for Scudero. That'll bring Ryan Sweeney up.
Well, that's the start this team needed. Get that first guy in the inning up. Get him on base, and let's see if they can bring him around to score.
Reached on an error his last time around. And with that right-hander warming up in the bullpen here, I'm not sure quite what they're thinking.
Well, with the left-handed hitter on deck, he's probably getting ready for hitters later in the lineup.
Swung on, hit in the air to right center. This one towards Smith. Roams over, puts it away.
A masterful performance out there today. They've not been able to get any sort of offense going, and I'll tell you what, he's going to make people notice this is an outstanding effort.
And it's Jacoby Ellsbury now, one away.
2010 had to be a difficult year for Jacoby Ellsbury. Only 18 games. Tried to come off the DL, battling back from that rib injury. Just never got anything going. Had to miss most of the entire season.
And it's 0-2. Ellsbury cut it down, protect. Well, certainly for Ellsbury, John, that year he missed, it sure looks like now he tried to come back too soon from those cracked ribs and just wasn't ready.
Yeah, and that's the big thing. It's coming back from an injury. You better make sure you're 100% or else it's just going to be a difficult year. But I tell you what, once those things got healed, 2011, he was fantastic.
Got him. 2 down now. And you got to be thinking ahead just a little bit. He doesn't look like he's getting tired. It's still a shutout.
Well, at this point, adrenaline just takes over. He's focused, determined. He's ignoring any fatigue.
And it's Dustin Pedroia in the box now. Grounded out his last time through. First pitch inside with a fastball, ball 1.
Well, he starts that two-seam fastball, the inside corner, but it just runs in on the hands just off the plate.
This looks serious enough, Steve, that he may have to come out of this ball game. That's tough.
Well, with the medical staff going out there, I don't think he's going to be able to return and stay in the game.
In there from Dotel, 1-1. Now the 1-1 pitch.
Strike 2.
Takes a call, strike 2.
This is the go-to pitch for many pitchers in the major league. The fastball down and away. When in doubt, that's where you go.
Fastball swung out and missed, and the side's retired. So they still can't buy a run. They've been held scoreless through 8. Still unable to score. Boston's. And for those of you just joining in, I'm Gary Thorne along with John Kruk and Steve Phillips. We bring you Major League Baseball here on 2K Sports. And Miguel Cabrera to bat. That's 1 down.
Well, Gary, you know, he's settling into a groove right here. And that's 6 in a row that he's set down.
And it's Johnny Peralta at the plate with 1 down. Had an RBI single his last time to the plate. Here's the delivery. And he fouls off another one. The pitch.
You're out.
And Johnny Peralta swinging through it is gone.
K-Cam registers this at 86 miles per hour with some pretty good break.
It's going to be Santiago now. Drove in a run earlier in the game. Now the first pitch. Fastball in there, 0-1.
Well, how about a chance to get through an inning without any base runners and without any runs? I mean, they've been blowing out in this one so far. Put a zero up there, and let's see if the offense can get it done.
Sweeney's there. That's caught. Side is retired. No runs, no hits, nobody crossed. And it's Adrian Gonzalez in the box now. He'll start us out here in the last inning of regulation. It's hit foul by Gonzalez.
Strike 2.
Octavio Dotel in charge of this AB with an 0-2 count. Swing and and a miss on the slider. 1 out.
Now K-Cam's going to show us a good look at this slider.
Fantastic piece of pitching to get that out, John.
Well, that's the part of pitching you love. He's looking for a fastball. He's expecting a fastball, and then just drop one right off the table. What a pitch.
So with 1 away, here's David Ortiz. .316 batting average last year against the Tigers. The 0-0 delivery, a fastball taken for a strike. Octavio Dotel in charge of this AB with an 0-2 count.
All the pressure on the hitter right now. He knows that he has to protect the plate in order not to strike out.
Swing and a miss. Struck him out with a breaking ball. 2 down.
A really nice sequence right there. He had good rhythm, 3 great pitches in a row, and sits him down.
Hitter never got a chance to get his balance, get his at-bat going there, John.
Well, he just didn't look good right there in the batter's box. He needs to take a better defensive approach to extend the at-bat a little longer.
And Carl Crawford to bat. Struck out swinging last time. Off the plate with a fastball, and it's 1-0.
A great movement on that 2-seam fastball, trying to start it on the corner, running it off the plate. The hitter just laid off.
Carl Crawford swings and misses. Count is even. Swing and a fly ball, and this might be it. That's going to be a wrap. Final out of the ball game.
Well, they win a great one here today, Gary, and it's all because of the pitching. Outstanding pitching, really leading them to victory.
And now let's get a recap of an outstanding individual performance. He's our player of the game.
Yeah, I mean, this guy came out and made this team look like world beaters today. Couple of hits, and he went big fly. All in all, it adds up to a nice day's work, and they come away on top.
And Steve, it seemed like they knew from the get-go they had it. This was going to be their day, and they were right.
You and I like the close games just because there's a little more intrigue for all 9 innings, but the hometown fans, they like the offensive explosion and the big win.
And that's going to do it for us here. For Steve Phillips, John Kruk, I'm Gary Thorne. Take care.